Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing a Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the Poison Team synergy and information on these heroes for all of this new meta excitement to come. Alright, so there's been a lot of hype and interest involving these heroes because, of course, it's going to bring a whole nother option. Now, that can sound a little overwhelming to me personally because it sounds like, oh boy, now we have to build out all these great new heroes potentially. Let's go back and freeze on that frame. Hello, that was beautiful. All right. So we don't have any of these three heroes yet. They're just coming. So there is the Epic Lord that's also coming. There are a couple existing poison heroes though, but can they synergize well with this team? Are they good enough? Are they gonna get a buff if they're not good enough? What about Esme? What about Nasal? That's the stuff I'm really curious. Like if we got, let's say, Vixera, Numera, and then just the existing epics, are they good enough? Or do we really need Vorn? Is he the answer for taking out the shield, for removing the buffs? There's just so much to try to figure out and analyze regarding a whole new team synergy coming to the game. So for this video, obviously I can't answer all of those questions yet. They're still coming. We're still testing. There's a lot of information to be had and to be discovered. So, but I wanted to break down the information kind of that we have so far. Now, of course, starting here, I guess, we do have our Shard Summon event coming for this Epic Lord. Now, at first glance, I wasn't too concerned. I was like, whatever, Epic Lord, okay, cool. Sounded good, but like, at the end of the day, I'm like, it's fine. I don't have I already have Venema as an Esoteric as Lord. Is she just gonna be better as a Lord because of the bigger bonuses? Do I really care about this character? Whatever, I'll get her because we can. And I don't know, maybe, you know, use her for content to be more relatable, sure. However, apparently she's pretty freaking awesome. So that is wonderful to hear that people are having great results with testing her so far. So let me give a shout out there. Fastidious actually put out a grateful testing video. I watched a little bit of it, but I know my husband Odd One Gaming said he watched this and it's awesome. So let's actually listen to his intro. Okay, so I'm not gonna continue that one. We're gonna let you guys watch his video too, but he has testing. He, of course, discusses her gear. He does some different setups where he plans out some testing of different damage comparisons using Lords or using her. And well, I know that the findings are pretty interesting and I'm gonna properly watch that better myself later. But I wanted to start there because this is such a cool hero that we're getting for free. And I will link his video in my description with this as well. I'm sure other content creators are starting to cover this too, but that's the one I've noticed. And like I said, my husband actually was like, have you seen this video? It's really good about that hero. So I'm really excited to hear that there's amazing potential with this new Epic Lord. Now, I did already do a video a couple weeks back on this whole poison thing. I looked at all of their kits fairly quickly, all four in the same video. So if you want to check out all of that information easily in one place now, you can go ahead and do that. There are chapters in that video, so be sure to check that if you haven't already. Now, what does the official channels, like, are the official documents? I don't know, say. What do they say? What does Watcher think about this poison comp? So they put out this series of information here in the Discord. I thought they had this in game. I could have sworn I saw this whole thing in game, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I just missed it, but I don't see it now. But we're going to take a look at a couple things in game as well. But let's first start with this general poison team lineup overview. So the core skill mechanics. I read it so you don't have to. Most poison team heroes belong to the Esoteria order, primarily dealing continuous magic damage through poison dot effects. Some poison team heroes provide powerful buffs and debuffs. For example, Nastia inflicts acute poisoning. poison and magic resistance reduction. Vorn provides shield break effect, and Numeria can detonate poison damage over time. By synergizing their abilities, poison team members elevate their collective magic damage output to new heights. So Nastia has acute poisoning, poison and magic resistance reduction, and poison immunity. So this is like of course we're talking about Vixera as well, does have the acute poisoning debuff to make poisons do more damage. Kind of like poison sensitivity in Raid Shadow Legends, right? All right, Numeria, Toxic Surge, and it reduces enemy damage. Vorn does a shield break, 2 types of poison, so there's multiple that can stack, and then offensive dispelling, so we know how important that has become when it comes to dispelling buffs for both the hard faction trials and, of course, Titanic Ruins. So, continuing the notes here, most poison team heroes gain significant advantages as the number of poison stacks on the enemy increase during the battle. This makes them particularly effective in extended fights against individual bosses. So, speaking of more damage talk, Nastia does an attack increase, ultimate damage increase, and true damage increase. Vorn, we have attack increase and permanent magic resistance penetration increase. And Vixera has a permanent magic resistance penetration increase as well. So the hero overviews, besides what we just said, which we're probably just going to repeat a bunch of things, like kind of... Anyway, Nastia, poison vulnerability and single target sustained DPS Lord. Poison core support and Lord. Nastia is immune to poison effects and can inflict poison vulnerability, poison and magic resistance reduction debuffs. As a Lord, she enhances the damage dealt by poison heroes against enemies afflicted with debuffs. Vixera is a magic resistance, penetration, and poison Lord. Core poison inflictor and a Lord. So she can inflict poison through both basic attack and when taking damage. Each stack of poison inflicted on enemies permanently increase her magic resistance penetration. Her Lord skill reduces the skill cost for members of the poison team. Numeria, Toxic Surge, and True Damage ranged fighter. So keep in mind, Numeria is also a piercer. And so is Vorn. So she, Numeria, core DPS and poison detonator, poison explosion for you raid players. Numeria can detonate poison effects, consuming poison stacks on enemies and dealing magic damage proportional to the stacks consumed. She can also reduce enemy damage. Vorn, poison and shield break support. His role as the core poison inflictor and shield counter. Vorn can inflict 2 types of poison effects and possesses magic resistance, penetration, plus shield break abilities. He can also grant shield break to multiple allies with the highest attack on the battlefield. So I feel like Vorn, to me, sounds like the person who's probably going to seem like the weak link in the team because he's not going to do the most damage, I'm assuming. I've seen a couple of things where that's the case as well. But, like, he's going to enable everyone to do more damage. He's going to help take out the shield faster, but it's not necessarily all his damage that's doing that. He's going to put out extra poisons because he has 2 different types of poison debuffs, but Numeria is going to be the one to explode them, you know? So if you put together these teams, I think it's all about the synergy of the whole team versus which one person is doing more damage. But I feel like Numeria is the key to all of it, and she's this week's hero, so I feel like people are going to go pretty hard. Speaking of which, I will have a summoning party on Friday, and we are definitely doing that. We have a few people already signed up, so we're going for it, and let's get some poison heroes. Let me know if you guys want me to do your summons. All right, team build. So lineup 1, they suggest Nastia, Numeria, and Vorn. Lineup 2, Vixera, Numeria, and Vorn. Lineup 3, Cyrus, Numeria, and Vorn. And then lineup 4, Araka, Numeria, and Vorn. So if you don't have the Poison Lords and you want to try with Isoteria or Piercer, you can do that as well. And they both have their benefits, right? Especially like Araka will extend their ranges when you need it. So, ideal 4. Let's talk about the 2 big boss fights and why this is going to work. So heroes of the poison team deal high magic damage. Drake's Chasm, Abyss 1 we're talking about. Sorry, let me be clear. Vorn grants allies with shield break effect, accelerating the destruction of Sauron Grimscale's Dragon's Bulwark shield. Meanwhile, Numera mitigates the boss's damage output, and Toxic Surge helps break through the formidable Dragon's Bulwark shield. Combined with Nastia's poison vulnerability, poison and magic resistance effects, Numera's poison detonation can deal a massive burst of magic damage to Sauron Grimscale during the weakened state. Now, Titanic Ruins. Against the Titan Saw, Numera's ultimate can inflict stun. When Nastia is awakened 1, she activates her ultimate, also stuns the poison targets with each hit. These can significantly disrupt Semra's charge progress. Additionally, Numera can reduce Semra's damage output. Alright, against Titan Shield, both Nastia and Numera can deal true damage. Vorn's ultimate can dispel Semra's defense and magic resistance buffs, plus damage reduction effects. And then against Titan's Drake, Nastia is immune to poison damage. Awaken 1 grants AoE poison immunity. Other heroes positioned further away can be cleansed and healed by Eloin from the same faction. The Isoteria Lord skill reduces skill cost for faction members, allowing for greater tactical leeway. So it is perfect. It allows you to be more flexible with your positioning and not have to worry about having Nastia covered by a Dispeller. That could allow you to like only have one hero that dispels versus... My ears keep falling off. Versus having, you know, 2, which could take the place of maybe someone with a little bit more value in the team. So maybe you can only use Eloin because you can squeeze throwing her to the side out of the range and just know that Eloin's going to cover everybody else, but she will be okay without Eloin. Alright, Immortal Codex, Lord of the Styx. Poison effects from different sources and the poison team can stack. Vorn can inflict 2 types of poison effects. The poison DOT combines with multi-strike attack abilities from poison heroes and can break the Lord of Styx Soulkeeper shield faster. So does like each tick of a poison count as like the number that you need? Because you need a lot of hits. I don't know. Or maybe that's just part of the burst damage idea of when you take the shield down. Alright, Arbiter of Frost, this is the obvious one. Stackable poison dot can quickly destroy the cryo cores created by Arbiter of Frost. Poison heroes like Numera and Nastia can also deal true damage, ignoring the boss's high physical damage reduction and magic damage reduction. It's a good friendly reminder that true damage is also very good against Arbiter of Frost. It's not only the debuffs, but throwing in, like, that's why Praetus is so good there too. Besides the, like, corrosion, right? Alright, so there's a quick note here that also Drake's Chasm Abyss 2 coming in future updates. And Tower of Deception, planned improvements in future updates that these heroes will also be very strong for. So there you go. Again, I'm pretty sure this was in game, but maybe, I don't know, maybe they moved it, maybe they took it away. I don't know what happened. Oh, here, bruh. It was in game. It's fine. It's in game, guys. So if you are looking for it, it is in the game news. It's fine. But yeah, let's go ahead here and take a look at the couple more hero details because this is the big hype, right? So this weekend, let's go specifically now to Nastia. So we've already kind of gave a pretty good overview of her, but let's see if there's any extra details thrown in here about this hero. So Nastia is a core support and lord of the poison team. She can inflict acute poisoning of poison and magic resistance reduction on enemy targets. Her lord skill increases our faction members' damage against enemies inflicted with debuffs. This significantly enhances the overall DPS potential of the poison team. She is immune to poison and provides exceptional single target sustained DPS, making her a core hero in a poison team. So I'm not going to read through all the same things again. These are just her skill breakdown. We've already talked about that in other videos. So Drake's Chasm and Titanic Ruins. Okay, we've talked about why these heroes are going to be so good. So I'm not going to worry about her specifically and read pretty much the same thing that we just read. Let's just skip down here. Recommended gear. So they do suggest Warlord and Soulbond Arcana for her, with the lower tiers of Calamity and Wisdom as an option. So top priorities should be attack bonus, of course. She does deal true damage, so you should make sure you get that. And then try to get 100% crit rate to go along with it. Then additionally, some crit damage thrown in the mix too, but try to make sure you focus the attack to take advantage of the true damage. So her secondary attributes, of course, obviously attack speed is going to be important too, especially if you have her awakened and you can do the stuns while doing Titanic Ruins. That is based on her basic attack, and every basic attack has a chance to stun, so you want to have high attack speed. But those are going to come with the territory of any of these good builds anyway, so you're probably just going to be swapping around your best Soulbond Arcana gear, or at least gear that's very similar to what you might use on a Praetus even. Alright, so Nastia possesses powerful single-target DPS capabilities. It also provides various buffs, including her Lord skill, to allies and the Poison team. For a 2-piece set, prioritize the Warlord set for its high attack bonus and further enhancing her true damage. For the 3-piece set, choose Soulbond Arcana to gain a 50% damage increase through multiple ultimates cast during the prolonged battles and encounters such as Titanic Ruins. When selecting gear attributes, DPS-oriented attributes such as attack attributes, crit damage, crit rate, and attack speed can improve her efficiency in inflicting poison. And they do recommend the Tear of Twilight for her artifact. Alright, now Numera. So Numera is a core DPS hero in the Poison team. Her damage output primarily relies on accumulating Grimthorn spikes through her basic attacks and rapidly launching them to inflict Toxic Surge, stun, damage reduction, and and continuous true damage. I can't read that. She detonates strong performance in single target environments like Drix Chasm and Titanic Ruins when paired with Poison teams featuring Nastia or Araka. And then same thing, we're gonna skip through her basic skills explained. But yeah, those are like kind of goes into more detail about those specifics and her value. And we already talked about Drix Chasm, Mortal Codex, all the things there too. And so down here, recommended gear is the same actually as Nastia. So let's read why they say that. Numera's main damage output revolves around accumulating and launching Grimthorn spikes to deal true damage in Toxic Surge. The true damage dealt by Numera is based on her own attack. So prioritize Warlord and Calamity sets that increase attack. Since Numera's ultimate is extremely low skill cost, choosing Soulbond Arcana or the Wisdom set can help gain the 50% damage increase faster. When selecting gear attributes, prioritize DPS-oriented attributes such as attack, crit damage, and crit rate. Also, Rage Regen can improve the cycle of her ultimate, increasing both her poison infliction efficiency and Toxic Surge frequency. So again, a very similar idea to make sure that you focus attack heavily because of her true damage. Now, her recommended artifact is the newer Shattered Hilts. It increases her single target damage and provides extra damage increase after a certain number of attacks. The damage boost becomes particularly significant in prolonged attack single target battles, such as those in Drake's Chasm and Titanic Ruins. Alright guys, yeah, there's probably a bunch more things on the creator website with all of that. But I'm quite excited for this interesting series of events to come. So they had this Toxic Outbreak series of events, and it's going through the 26th, right? That's 2 more weekends. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that next weekend, which is still part of the Toxic Outbreak, is probably going to be the time that they release Vorn, because they're talking about him so heavily as well. So leaks or no leaks, I think we would be based on this. I would assume that Vorn is next weekend. If not, that would be weird, because why would they do this special Toxic Outbreak thing and not try to just kind of pump them all out there? I think that just makes sense. And unfortunately or fortunately, we're all going to be very shard broke. And then afterward, they're probably going to release a limited event and we're all going to be like, God damn it. But yeah, always prepare, guys. Keep in mind that we have been predicting for a while about what would happen with the upcoming events for Spirit Invocations. So it's very likely that we're going to get some solid limited events very soon. I would think Sun Wukong and Kagiri are the next ones. We've said that many times because Kagiri was very popular for the new bosses, and he's been a bit a while ago, and Sun Wukong was just so popular in general. And the Chinese servers have already relaunched a Sun Wukong event. He's already back for China, so I could definitely see him being back here as well. So just keep those things in the back of your mind. If you prefer those heroes over this whole new poison meta, then prepare to save and not be frustrated when they do come back. It's probably sooner rather than later. And that doesn't even have to take spoilers or leaks or any of the stuff that we're not supposed to be looking for these days. It doesn't even take those to consider that, right? So just keeping that in the back of your mind. But I think the new poison meta sounds really fun, and it sounds like Numera is a must-have. So I feel like it's worth summoning, even if that means a harder grind for upcoming limited events. But we can't save for FOMO all the time, and I think she's a must-have, so might as well get her while you can. If you get lucky, I hope you guys do. And yeah, we will do a summoning party on Friday. And tomorrow I will release a more detailed discussion about summoning, because there's definitely something to talk about regarding our spirits divines. And then even our ancients, we have to discuss this too. So that's all though for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.